What's up, Internet? My name is Kyle, back with another episode about cameras, tech, and all that good stuff. Today, we're going to talk about the different focus modes on your camera, specifically the Sony a6000. Okay, so when you get started out on your camera, you dive into the different settings and everything like that. And one thing that I think you should consider looking into is the different focus modes and what they're used for, the different use cases and stuff like that. Okay, so there are 5 focus modes on the Sony a6000 or the different Sony mirrorless cameras. Now, if you don't have one of the Sony mirrorless cameras, I'm sure that these apply to other cameras as well. There are just some specific ones to each camera. The first and probably most commonly used focus mode is AFS mode, which is Autofocus Single. Now, I use this focus mode a lot. Basically what it does is you should probably turn the camera on first, that would help. So when you are taking a photo with AFS mode on, you half press the shutter to focus. Oh, I should probably turn the sound on. Okay, so in AFS mode, Autofocus Single, when you half press the shutter, so in AFS mode, when you half press the shutter down, you get that little autofocus beep, unless you've turned it off. But when you half press, it's gonna focus, and then right there, it locks your plane of focus. If you move the camera, you may not be in focus anymore because you were just focused for that single shot. Now, what this mode allows you to do as a photographer is if you half press, get the focus, you can recompose, maybe not moving your depth, but move to the left, move to the right, move up or down. You can then recompose the shot, reframe your subject, still have that line of focus, then take the shot, and you're good to go. So yeah, it's that single shot focus, allows you to lock it in, recompose if you want to, moving left or right or up or down, take the shot. If your subject is moving, you would have to repress the shutter button to reacquire focus and then take the shot. So if you have a kid running around, you're going to have to keep focusing, trying to track the kid. So the next mode would be more suited for that, and that's Autofocus Continuous, or better known on the Sony as AF-C. And that is another mode that I use very often. I pretty much switch between Autofocus Single and Autofocus Continuous. We'll talk about the other ones that I use a lot less, but these are the 2 main ones that I use. So Autofocus Continuous, like I was saying, about a kid running around, or let's say sports, or a car, or wildlife, birds, or anything like that, it's going to try and keep a subject that is moving in focus. So say you have a person running in baseball from one base to another base, you would use AFC to track that subject as it's moving. You don't have to keep refocusing with the half press. You can kind of use the high speed mode and capture a bunch of shots, and it should track the object and keep it in focus. Also in AFC mode, when you hold the shutter button down and you just are moving your frame around to different points in whatever you're looking at, it will refocus. So it allows you to keep gaining focus on different points as you're holding it down. It's pretty much the opposite of Autofocus Single, where you press the shutter down and hold it, and it locks in that one focus point or the focus distance. And then AFC is when it'll focus on the TV back there, or if I'm still holding it and I go to my dog, it'll focus on my dog. So it will look for different focus points as you move your camera around, whereas AFS just locks it in on that one plane once you half press. So you would have to let go and then re-half press to get the dog in focus rather than the TV. Okay, the next mode I don't really recommend you guys using, or really anyone, is AFA, which is Autofocus Automatic. Basically, the camera tries to decide what's best for you. It tries to decide between AFS and AFC, and most of the time, it's not very smart. Not to say that the camera isn't smart. I mean, it is a smart camera, but in this area of autofocusing, it's not too bright. Also, for the video's sake, I'm using AFC, so it can do things like this, where it focuses on my hand, and then come back, focus on my face. I also have the drive mode on slow right now because I was shooting other things where I wanted it to kind of gradually go into focus on things and then gradually come back. So you can change that as well. We'll talk about that in another video. Okay, so the fourth mode, which I use sometimes, is manual focus. And basically that lets you use the focus ring, if you have one, on your lens to dial in to a very specific spot. Manual focus is used for all different types of things. I don't use it that often because autofocus in the Sony a6000 is pretty grand. I use it for maybe if I'm doing like a product photography shot or something like that, or if you really want to dial in the focus for a landscape or something, you can use it that way. Sony mirrorless cameras and other mirrorless cameras have a manual focused assist called focus peaking. Focus peaking is basically assist lines that come up on your screen and show you what points of the photo or the frame are in focus. It'll show up as little white lines, yellow lines, or red, and you can choose which one. So if you go to Menu, Tab 2, which is the gear symbol, and then Page 2, you can set the peaking level. So you can do low, medium, or high to display as the amount of the lines that you see in manual focus. And then you could also change the color. You could do yellow, white, or red. Oh, there's also a manual focus assist, which I go back and forth between wanting it on or off. Manual focus assist in the menus is Tab 2, Page 1. Basically what it does is when you start using your focus ring, it'll zoom in to a really close point and it'll let you focus just that point. So if you're looking at, an action figure or something and you start using your focus ring and it goes right into like a super small portion and you can dial in the focus there, and as soon as you let go, it'll zoom the picture out and then you can take the picture and you can really dial in that focus. I don't use this often, but it's something that'll help you out. The last focus mode I never have used, and I don't really see an application for it for me, is direct manual focus, DMF. It's basically a hybrid between manual focus and AFS. I don't really see an application for it, but that's what it is. Okay, and that's basically it for this video. I thought it was important to go over the different focus modes. I definitely was confused when I first got the camera, so hopefully this cleared that up if you're either switching from Canon to Sony or you're just new to the Sony mirrorless family. They're very cool, and each one has a different purpose, and hopefully it's a little more clear for you if it was unclear before. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this video, or if you want to see more things like this. I'm thinking about making a video like this about the different drive modes that you can use in the camera. So yeah, let me know if you want that, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I will see you guys in the next episode.